So, good afternoon. This is Dr. Mitesh Shah, Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department at AD Patel Institute of Technology. Once again, I welcome you on the second day of AICTE AQIS sponsored short-term training program on computational fluid dynamics role in hydraulic machines and renewable energy. So today's speaker is Professor Ranjit S. Patil from BITS Pilani, Goa campus. Before he starts his presentations, I would like to introduce him. Professor Patil did his B with an excellent academic record and as an university ranker. He did his ME in mechanical engineering with specializations in heat and power engineering, specifically in the IC engine group, and research experience gained through projects on energy conservations in Indian cement industries at National Chemical Laboratory CSIR Lab, Pune, in collaboration with BK Birla Group of Companies. He did his PhD as a full-time with MHRD scholarship for 4 years in energy from IIT Guwahati. He worked in the group of Dr. Ranjit Patil, joined to ENEA, that is a nuclear research center of Government of Italy as a PDF, and worked in the group of Dr. Zumo and Dr. Piero. Dr. Piero is editor-in-chief, Experimental Thermal and Fluid Science, Elsevier Publications, and associate editor in many such Elsevier journals also. Later at ENEA, Italy, Dr. Ranjit Patil worked as a researcher during 2010 to 11. He did research in the area of energy and process heat transfer in two-phase flow domain of microtubes at ENEA. During the tenure of research work related to ENEA Italy, he has visited to France, Austria, Hungary, Switzerland. Since last 20 years, he is working in the field of fluid and thermal engineering for research and teaching. He has published his research work in the reputed international conferences, book chapters, and journals published by Elsevier, Taylor and Francis, ASME, IMechE, Springer, etc. He has published papers in the well-known, reputed international conferences held by IITs, IISc Bangalore conferences. Even he has attended many conferences in abroad like Imperial College London, Bangkok, Thailand, Krakow, Poland, USA, South Korea, Dubai, UAE, etc. In December 2011, he joined the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and at present he is working as an assistant professor in BITS Pilani, KK Birla, Goa campus, Goa. He is a recipient of INSA Visiting Scientist Fellowship Award for the year 2014-15 by Government of India. He is also recipient of OPERA Outstanding Potential for Excellence in Research and Academics Award during 2014-19 by BITS Pilani for his excellence in research and teaching. Sir, thank you very much for giving your valuable time. I request you to start your presentations. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Let me share my screen. Whether my screen is visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
So we will now commence the presentation. So this is I'm talking today on the topic studies on fluid dynamic and heat transfer characteristic of novel fin-based cyclone separators. So the motivation of this particular topic is basically in view of environmental pollution and in saving the energy. You know, the process industries like cement plant and you can see the new power plants. Those are based on fluidized bed power plant, fluidized bed power plants. They are using the cyclone separator. So primarily, these cyclone separators are used to separate the gas from the particles. I mean the very fine particles, like size around 10 microns to 300 microns. They can easily separate from the gas. So the main purpose is to remove the to separate out the particles from the gas. And the cyclone separators, as I told you at the start of this presentation, the cyclone separators are used in cement plants and recent some power industries. Those are based on circulating fluidized bed boiler. So what is in this talk? The shortly I'm telling you, the talk is based on what novel things what we have done on this particular cyclone separator, how we have changed its design, what sort of modifications we have made in it in order to save the energy and improve the capability of this cyclone separator in order to separate the particles. I mean, I told you a few minutes back that these cyclone separators are capable to separate the particles 10 microns and above. But our target is to separate the particles even those are less than 5 microns or those are less than 10 microns. So shortly, the idea behind this presentation or our work is focused to use the cyclone separators as heat exchangers, which nobody has used it till date in any industry. And second target is to improve the separation ability. I mean, to improve its separation efficiency so that it can even separate the particles those are less than 10 microns. So for that, what we have done, that I will be going to present in this presentation. So this is about the content of the presentation. So instead of going through all these points, let me take you directly to the next point. The shortly, what what is here in the slide number 3 that I already explained you. So basically, before going, many of you may be knowing about how the cyclone separator work. So what I will do, I will read the lines, and I will whenever required I will give you the information in detail. And if you have any queries, you can ask me at the end. Like that, we will go ahead. So that I have already told the cyclone separators. Those are used in process and power industries. These are used to separate the particles from the high volume of very hot gases. Due to these hot gases, their wall temperature remains very high, okay, causing the heat losses to the surrounding due to the various modes of heat transfer such as radiation and convection. The greater percentage of this heat loss can be recovered at the cyclone separator and used further for water heating and also energy conservation in this way, which will help to improve the efficiency of the boilers, especially these are the circulating fluidized bed boilers. Therefore, we are required to do the proper arrangement is required to convert the conventional cyclone separator. I mean, those are conventional means those are presently used in the industry. These are conventional cyclone separator as a heat exchanger device by making the use of hot cylindrical barrel wall of conventional cyclone separator used in the industry without affecting the main purpose of the cyclone separator. I mean, what I want to say in the point number 2, the conventional cyclone separator don't have the fins or don't have any kind of the arrangement. I mean, they just heat will be lost to the surrounding. So what we are proposing here, why not to make the cyclone separator a heat exchanger? Okay, but at the same time, we should not forget the its separation efficiency should not decrease. Rather, it should improve. Okay. So then what we have done? Let's move to the next point. 2D type cyclone separator was chosen to modify in order to convert the cyclone separator as a heat exchanger device, and it has highly performable and highly preferable in many industries among all other cyclone separators. So basically, we have chosen the 2D type of the cyclone separator. So down the time, I mean, with my presentation slides, you will come to know what is this 2D type of the cyclone separator. So shortly, this slide is telling us that okay, the cyclone separators are very useful device used in process and power industries, and we have to now modify it in order to save the energy, because I told you there are this wall temperature of this cyclone separator is very high, because they are handle the gases around 700 to 800 or 900 degrees Celsius. So you can imagine their wall temperature will be very very high, and so that there are the lot of losses from their walls to the surrounding. So why not to convert these walls to the water walls? So this is the one idea. But while doing everything, we should not forget its main purpose. That is what I'm telling in this slide number 2. Sorry, point number 2 here, that we should not we should focus, we should be rather very careful that its main purpose, that separating the particle from the gas, should not deteriorate. I mean, rather it should improve. So let's move to the next part. So everybody knows this is a typical conventional power plant what I'm presenting you here. I'm not going to discuss much on this, but what I want to tell, in this conventional power plant, you can see this is, here is the, we are doing the combustion of the coal. You can see the cursor. Here we are doing the combustion of the coal, and the hot gases around 1300 degrees Celsius to 1150 degrees Celsius. They are giving the heat to the riser tubes. Okay, and we are collecting the steam at the I mean the saturated steam in the top portion of the drum. So this part especially is the evaporator, and then these hot gases going and passing over the other heat exchangers. I mean the reheater, CSH means superheater, and the economizer, and then air filter, and then goes out via chimney. So in this particular conventional boiler, what we are now doing, this particular portion is evaporator. It has several riser tubes. So we will be now fixing the one device, that is the cyclone separator, between the risers and these heat exchangers, somewhere in between these two. I mean, before sending the hot gases towards the reheater or like other heat exchanger like SH means superheater or economizer, we have to allow these gases, like the gas which is at 1150 degrees Celsius, which is going to the reheater. What we will do, before sending it to the reheater, we will pass this gas through the cyclone separator, and whatever the particles in it means unburned coal particles or any other particles, we will remove them, and then clean gas we will send it towards the reheater. So this is what the idea. So in this slide you can see, like I told you that evaporator means riser. Riser will be something like this on the left hand side, and the hot gases here, suppose the temperature is around 1100 or 1000 or 900 degrees Celsius. The hot gases will enter in this cyclone separator, and we will clean the gas. I mean, what will happen, the air plus, you can see here the gas plus some very fine particles, those are unburned or burnt particles of the coal, are coming over here, and they are taking several turns, because this particular cyclone separator is in the circular in cross section. So whatever the gas and the solid mixture is coming over here, it has very high speed. I mean around 20 meters per second. Okay, and then this high speed solid mixture will enter in the cyclone separator. It will hit the opposite wall, and then it will take the several turns, because it is in circular in cross section. This cyclone separator is circular in cross section, and because of that circular motion or swirling motion, because of the centrifugal force created, the particles, you can see the particles are going near the wall. Okay, and along the wall they will come down, because they are making the friction with the cyclone separator's wall, as well as they have their own weight. So because of gravity, all the particles will be collected down there, and somewhere the pressure here, it becomes higher than in this conical portion. The pressure becomes higher than the pressure present at the top. I mean the gas outlet. It is, the pressure here is about atmospheric pressure, but once the pressure becomes little higher than atmospheric pressure, the gas will take a reverse turn. It will go up, while the particles will be collected down, because of their weight or because of their friction with the wall. They will be collected down, and they will be circulated back to the riser. So therefore it is called as a circulating fluidized bed boiler. It is a new technology boiler. Now you can see the all particles will be most of the particles, you can say, are coming back here in this cyclone separator, because cyclone separator are only allowing the particles, say, more than only allowing the particles more than 10 microns sorry, the particles, yeah, the cyclone means through this gas outlet, the particles, those are the particles are very fine particles. I mean, those are less than 10 microns, only will be going through this through this hole along with the gas, and then they will go to the reheater, superheater, economizer, what I shown in the previous slide. Okay, so shortly what I want to tell over here, that earlier you are sending the oval size particles towards the reheater. By this time you are only sending the particles those are less than 10 microns. So very coarser particle, large size particle, you are collecting in the down in the, I mean, in the down there in the cyclone separator and circulating back to the riser. These uncombusted particles, some of the uncombusted particles are coming back, and then they get again combusted. So the combustion efficiency of the fluidized bed boilers is higher than the conventional boiler. This is a one thing. Second thing, that you can see, you are separating the particles. Okay, you are separating the particles, and those are above 10 microns are collected down there. So and after this, so you can still put some filters and all this to capture the other particles. Those are, I mean, those are less than 10 microns, but the load on the filters will get reduced. Why? Because it is very simple logic, that you have already separated the particles. So cyclone separator, you can say, is one kind of the filter. Okay, so load on the second filter will definitely reduce. Okay, then third thing is, that means it is helping us to the environmental pollution point of view. Why it is like that? Because the environmental pollution is not only because of the carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide or nitrogen dioxide or sulfur dioxide. It is because of also particulate matter. Those are less than 10 microns. Like you would have heard PM10, PM2.5 means particulate matter of 2.5 micron, particulate matter of 10 microns. So the target is here to reduce the pollution by stopping the particles. Those are very fine particles, less than 10 microns, going to the environment. Okay, so to the some extent, the cyclone separators, normal cyclone separator, I mean, this is a conventional cyclone separator, is helping us. Okay, and fluidized bed boiler, I told you already that combustion efficiency is high. Their uncombusted particle came back, and again we are combusting. So you can see the complete combustion. You can ensure this. So you can see the carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide will only generate if there is incomplete combustion. So you can ensure that there is a less CO generation. And normally this fluidized bed boilers operates in the range of 800 to 900 degrees Celsius, and along with the coal there will be calcium carbonate. We have to mix so that you can capture the sulfur dioxide. And I have not shown in detail over here, but here is the primary air is only coming to fluidize this bed, and the secondary air is coming some distance this above this yellow color. You can see the particle. The secondary air, about 70%, is coming over there. So what happened, that in the down portion of this riser, you are having the less oxygen, and because of that, all the nitrogen atoms get reacted with each other, and they form the molecular nitrogen. So once the molecular nitrogen is formed in the lower dense zone, and then these nitrogen molecules going in the upward in the up section of this riser, where you are having 70% of the air you are supplying. Suppose total air supplied is 100%, 30% is coming here, and 70% is coming suppose somewhere from here in the horizontal direction. So here is the oxygen rich zone is upper zone, but that oxygen will not react with the nitrogen moles, because already converted into the nitrogen molecules. So it is N2 will not react with the O, and basically NOx reduction will be reduced. So okay, so this is overall I'm talking about the fluidized bed boilers, but our main focus is on the cyclone separator. So shortly I told you that in comparison with the previous slide, conventional boilers, we have added one device between this evaporator or riser section and between the heat exchanger section. We have put the one unit over here. That is what the cyclone separator which only send the gas towards the reheater with particle less than 10 microns and hot gas, and remaining particle, those are above 10 microns, are circulated back to the riser and they get combusted shortly. So now we have to basically have to discuss what we have done, what sort of modification we have made, what sort of patenting what patent we have filed, and what idea we have made to improve the this cyclone separator efficiency and to save the energy. So let's move ahead. So I told you that we are working on the LAPL 2D. LAPL is the one who has proposed this 2D type of the cyclone separator. It is famous in this cyclone separator world. I mean, this is more famous cyclone separator. And you can see what is this 2D. 2D means you can see the height of this cyclone separator. I mean, you can see the first portion is a cylindrical portion. The height is, let's consider it is, the height is 400 here, and the height of the conical section is also 400 over here. So why it is called as a 2D? Because in this case, that whatever the diameter, you can see the diameter of this cyclone separator is 200, but height of the cylindrical portion is double to that to the diameter, as well as the height of the conical portion is also double. I mean, height of the diameter of the cyclone separator. So diameter of the cyclone separator, if it is 200 mm, this 2D indicates the height of the cylindrical portion, that is 400 mm. Suppose all dimensions are in mm, and height of the conical section is also 400 mm. It is, I mean, double to that of the diameter of the cylinder. Okay, so now I will explain here that this is the tangential inlet through which the mixture inlet, means it is the sand plus air. I mentioned here the sand, but actually in CFD simulation we use the sand because sand has close property to the coal. But actually in realistic plant there will be the coal plus air, means basically gas and coal particles will be entering in this tangential inlet. And this is and then they will take the several tons, that gas and particle mixture will take several tons, and somewhere around here, means either in the just at the boundary, I mean where the cylindrical portion is ending and the conical portion is starting, somewhere here the gas goes up, because always you know the fluid flows from the, or gas flows, or any liquid flows from the high pressure to low pressure regime. So pressure once here becomes little more than the pressure present at the gas outlet, usually it is atmospheric pressure, then the gas goes up and particles, because of they are taking several turns, and because of the centrifugal force of that swirling motion, the particles are already near the wall, and they have their own weight, plus they are causing a friction with the wall. They will come down along with this conical portion, and then they will be collected down over here. So this is called as a solid outlet, this is tangential inlet, this is gas outlet. Okay, so you have to remember henceforth the tangential inlet, gas outlet, so bottom solid outlet, this is a conical portion, and this is the cylindrical portion. Now moving further, now what I told you, the motivation of this study is to make these cyclone separators more efficient in terms of to separate the particles even less than 10 microns, and to make them as a heat exchanger in order to save the heat loss because of the radiation or convection, that what I told you. Because you know the gas which enters here, gas plus coal particle or sand particles, those are coming or entering in this tangential inlet. You know, this gas is having very high temperature, say around 800 degrees Celsius, and then they are taking several tons through this cyclone. So the outer wall temperature of this cyclone separator is very high, and because of that it loses its energy, its heat to the surrounding. So we have to save the energy over here. For that we are proposing something called as a helical fins. So this is what I am now talking about. What we have to do now, we have to put the helical fins on this in the cylindrical portion. Okay, and what is then in that fin? The fin has the various sizes like 5 mm, 7.5 mm and 10 mm. Okay, what is that size, I will explain you in the next slide. And pitch variation also I will explain you in the next slide. So remember, we are now attaching the helical fins to make this cylindrical portion as a water wall. Okay, so that what will happen when the hot gas will touch to these fins, it will give, the hot gas will give the heat to the fin, and inside fin we are circulating the water, so water will get that heat, and basically we will save the heat loss from this cylindrical wall of the cyclone separator. This is what the idea is. So now two things we have to note, that we are attaching the helical fin. Helical fin has the three cross sections. One is either rectangular in cross section, semicircular in cross section, and triangular in cross section. And in which we have to also note that what should be the fin size. Fin size will be 5 mm, 7.5 mm, 10 mm, and the third variable is helical fin. Pitch. I mean 30 mm pitch and 50 mm pitch. So three things we have to remember. We are now attaching the helical fin to make the cylindrical portion of the cyclone separator as a water wall portion. This is one thing, with the help of rectangular, semicircular, and triangular fin. This is the first point. Second point, what should be the fin size? Either it 5 mm, 7.5 mm, 10 mm. And what will be the pitch? It will be either 30 mm and 50 mm. Now let's move. Here in this case, you can see this is the blue color portion is the base of the fin, which we have to attach to the inside portion of the cylindrical portion. Basically, you have to weld it on the inside portion of the cyclone separator. This is what the basically the blue portion is, having some thickness, and it is you can see it is in rectangular in cross section. This yellow color portion is either in the square or rectangular fin through which the water will flow. Okay, so through which the water will flow. So it is, and the size is varying something like this. You can see the size is 5 mm, 7.5 mm, 10 mm. Means we have to increase this width. This height of the height is constant, 10 mm. Only the size of the fin in this rectangular or the rectangular or square cross section fin, how we will vary. Just suppose initially it is 5 mm, then it is rectangular fin. If it is 7.5, it is a rectangular fin. When it becomes 10 mm, it is a square fin, because height will be also 10, something like that. And this portion 5 mm by 10 mm, this rectangular is basically a solid base, to which we have to basically it has thickness. This is a solid portion. Okay, this blue color line is a basically solid portion, and this portion, this rectangular, is hollow, through which the water will flow. Means left hand side rectangle. Now going further, I can you can see now how we have constructed like cylindrical portion. We are now you can see over here that proposed a novel rectangular finned cyclone separator after modification, which are varying in fin size 5 mm, 7.5 mm, and 10 mm. That is what I told you a few minutes back. Like pitch means you can sorry, not pitch, I'm talking about the size. It is the 5 mm, 7.5, you can see we are little moving inside. 10 mm means this depth, I mean the in a horizontal direction, this fin size has increased 10 mm. Then here it is basically this particular case is for the 30 mm pitch size. Okay, so pitch means it is a distance. Suppose this is the one fin, it's ending over here. So the fin to fin means center of this fin, you take the one point on the center of first turn, and then the distance measured exactly at the on the second turn. So distance between the two consecutive points, the first turn is here. Suppose this is the first turn, the midpoint is here. Second turn, the midpoint is here. The distance between them is the pitch, that is 30 mm. So we have to vary that pitch from 30 mm to 50 mm. With increasing the pitch, the number of turns will decrease. That you can see in the next slide. Like once we have increased the pitch, the number of turns have been reduced. Okay, and the pitch is anyway size anyway we have to vary. Like here it is, you can see the 5 mm. Here it is 7.5 mm. From here to here, from this wall to here, it is 10 mm. Now for your understanding only, I have just shown these fins, but actually when you in realistic case, you really cannot see the fins like this, because this is the portion through which the water will be flowing. Okay, and we are attaching the fins inside. So outside you will look like this, the separator will look like this only, but you cannot see the fins attached inside. So for your understanding purpose only, I am just putting the, I'm just showing this kind of the geometry to you. Okay. So in the same way, now you can see here, this is the semicircular fin. Like the blue color portion, this is a solid base, and the semicircular portion is the hollow portion through which water will flow. And again, this will vary. I mean the 5 mm, 7.5 mm, 10 mm. Okay, and this is typically the presentation for that semicircular fin with 30 mm pitch, and here it is 50 mm pitch. Then further the triangular fin, you can see the blue color portion is here, and we are making now the triangular fin like this. Okay, and its size will vary like 5 mm, 7.5 and 10 mm. This apex point you have to increase this distance. Basically, suppose it is 5 mm, for 10 mm you have to move further here 7.5, and 10 mm it will be something like this. So basically you have to increase the cross section, the cross section area of this triangle. So and something it will look like this for 30 mm pitch. The triangular fin will look like this, and for 50 mm pitch the triangular fin will look something like this. Okay, now okay, so now next part is we have used the ANSYS software, and we have done the simulations. For that we have used the unstructured mesh, and we have used the hexahedral element at the core, and the near the wall we put the prismatic cells, and in between hexahedral and prismatic cell we have put the sorry, here the hexahedral mesh were created at the core to capture the boundary layer physics, and the tetrahedral mesh were basically were created to connect the hexahedral and prismatic elements. So prismatic elements are normally we are kept near the wall, and hexahedral elements in the center, and in between them they are a tetrahedral mesh we are using. So this is we have with our experience we can tell that this is the best combination, because near wall physics we have to capture with the less number of elements. So prismatic cells are very useful. If you use that hexahedral cells, your number of cells will increase and your computational time will increase. Okay, so this is what the arrangement here. This is a core portion. Okay, means one side portion of the wall. This is the wall of the cyclone separator, and suppose this is its center. So here you can see in the core you have hexahedral cell, and near the wall you are having prismatic cell, and in between that there is a tetrahedral cell. So, and then what is the boundary conditions and all that is mentioned in this particularly. You can refer our paper. Those are published on this work in ASME Journal of Heat Transfer, and the powder technology, one of the journal of Elsevier, and then separation science and technology. This is Journal of Taylor and Francis, and this is a lot of work we have done, and that is published in different journals, and the file one patent also we have filed. So in detail, if you want to go, you can definitely refer this paper later on. So these are the boundary conditions that we know that in CFD we have to, while doing the simulations, we have to give the boundary conditions and some initial condition, that what convergence criteria, everything is mentioned in this particular slide. So this is the normal procedure or practice. So we are also following this. But important part is here is the mesh dependency. Means whatever the mesh you are choosing, because it is a very highly swirling flow is there in the cyclone separator. So Reynolds stress model is only used, not RNGK epsilon and other turbulence model. So this is already well investigated by the many researchers. So we are directly went ahead with the Reynolds stress model. But whatever the mesh type we have used, that is also important, because the highly turbulence flow, to capture the physics near the wall, our mesh near the wall should be very, very refined. So we have measured the Y plus value, that is less than 40. And what important is, whatever the mesh number, whatever the size of the mesh we are choosing, whether it is giving the accurate results or not, that is the interesting thing. So you can see here the 337,000 nodes, sometimes 600,000 nodes, around 1,300,000 nodes we have used, and then we have checked. You can see the 600,000 nodes and 1,300,000 nodes are giving reasonably close results. It means we need not to go further beyond 1,300 nodes, because results are not much changing. So what we should do, we should stop over here. I mean, we should we can take the 600,000 nodes for our studies further, because both 600 and the 1300,000 nodes giving reasonably close results. This is what the mesh independent study means. After this also, if you take even 2600,000 nodes, the results will not much vary, but your computational time will double. So to save the computational time and to get the better accuracy, we are now choosing the 600,000 nodes. And going further, we have compared the experimental data which is available in the literature published by the Wong et al. And our results are like of that 600 nodes are coming quite reasonably, means within plus minus 10% they are matching, and therefore we have validated our results also. Means here it is not a validation of mesh, here it is the validation of everything, including the mesh type, mesh size, as well as what the model, turbulence model you have chosen, what boundary condition you have chosen, what convergence criteria you set, what is your y plus value. You have taken everything which is now reflecting in this slide, and the slide tells us that the experimental values and computational values are very close to each other. It means whatever you have done in your meshing, in your post processing, whatever the models you have chosen during your simulation, all are working good. You have done the right thing, you have chosen the right algorithm. So after this, now here it is, this slide is perfectly telling about the validation of computational study and experimental study. That is what I have explained orally. So instead of reading this all the points, let us move to the next part. Here now, one point I have forgotten to tell you, this what validation we have done for the non-finned cyclone separator. Okay, this is purely conventional non-finned cyclone separator, because Wong has used in his study non-finned cyclone separator. So what now we are doing? We are moving next step, because you know what we are doing. We are putting the one helical fin, and the helical fin has the cross section either rectangular or circular or triangular, and it has a variation in its size as well as pitch. So you know, we are now talking about the square fin or rectangular fin. Pitch size will be 30 or 50, size will be 5, 7.5, 10, and the mesh what we have chosen is around 600. You can see this here. Okay, and that is what called as set 1 2 3, set 1 2 3, like that. Y plus value also is measured over here. And then this is for the semicircular fin. You can see the number of nodes are around 600,000. Okay, and in a similar way for the triangular fin. After doing all these things, now we have to discuss on our results and discussion. After doing all these things, let's discuss the results. So this is the first slide where we have, remember, whenever we do the study on the cyclone separator, 4 things you have to always remember. You have to obtain the axial velocity curves, you have to obtain the tangential velocity curve, you have to find what is the pressure drop, axial pressure drop. You have to find from where the particles are taking the reverse turn, means at what distance above the solid outlet they are taking the reverse turn. These 4 things you have to find, and then you have to plot a graph of separation efficiency, because to justify the somebody we ask tomorrow, you also will ask me why the separation efficiency, what is the reason behind this, what is the physics behind this. To define that physics, to give the support to your result, you must have to obtain these 4 graphs: axial velocity, tangential velocity, axial pressure drop, and the what I said you that the point from where the reverse flow takes place. So this is a typically we are now discussing the results on rectangular fin. Okay, in the rectangular fin you can see that here we are comparing the rectangular fin for the 5 mm fin size, 30 mm pitch, and something like 7 mm fin size, 30 mm pitch, 7 mm fin, and 50 mm pitch, and so on. So like 6 sets we are comparing over here. The conclusion is given over here. Like you can see, the negative velocity is coming near the wall, because the flow near the wall is in the downward direction. Okay, flow near the wall is in the downward direction, because the solid or gas near the wall, they are having friction with the wall. Okay, and therefore near the wall you can see in the region of say -80 to -100 on the left hand side, or on the right hand side 80 to 100. Here the particles are moving in the downward direction. Remember this. Okay, whenever it is coming plus means they are moving in the upward direction toward the gas outlet. So here they are moving towards the conical section because the velocity is below zero. So from this, some conclusions what we have obtained here. The conclusion is it is observed that for a given pitch, change in fin size from 5 mm to 10 mm has little impact on the axial velocity. But it is observed that for all the size fins, 30 mm pitch gives the slightly higher axial velocity measured at the core, say minus 10 to plus 10 of the cyclone separator, than that of all the size of the 50 fin with the 50 mm pitch. So this is one of the conclusion we have drawn from this. Remember, the axial velocity near the wall should be high. In the cyclone separator case, whenever you are getting the negative velocity near the wall is high. High means suppose some in your case, like you can see here, it is the 10 mm fin with 30 mm pitch. You can clearly see the velocity, negative velocity is more. Okay, at minus 80. Near the wall, you can see the 10 mm fin with the 50 mm pitch shows the more velocity in the downward direction. Okay, so around 80, you can see the velocity is minus 6 or minus 5 meters per second. So velocity is very high there. So if the particles are flowing at very high velocity toward the conical section is a good sign, because finally you have to collect this particle through solid outlet and we have to send them back to the riser. So this is very important, that what velocity, axial velocity we should check. We should check the axial velocity near the wall or close to the wall, say in the region of minus 80 to minus 100, or here 80 to 100. This negative velocity is very useful for us. So this is one graph. Okay. Second graph is the axial pressure drop. You know, we have put the fins. Now the high swirling flow, air plus, I mean the gas plus solid particle. Now our study, we have taken the sand particle. In actual plant there will be the coal particles. So I am saying this is a solid particle. This solid particle plus gas is entering with very high speed and making several turns. There we are now adding the fins, means we are increasing the overall surface area of the cylindrical portion. So friction will naturally increase. So you can see the non-fin cyclone separator has the low friction, I mean the low pressure drop, while the pressure drop increases with the fin by adding the fin. Now these are the 6 sets, you know, that 30 mm pitch, 30 mm pitch, 30 mm pitch. Size was 5 mm, 7.5, 10 mm. Here it is 50, 50, 50, 5 mm, 7.5 mm and 10 mm. So shortly what I want to say, with adding the fins, with increasing their sizes, with increasing the number of turns, like 30 mm pitch has the more number of turns, so its friction is more than the 50 mm pitch with 10 mm fin size. So this is what one of the observations. So because of this, you know, you have to, because finally, you know, the blower is supplying the air toward the riser. It is as a primary air or secondary air. And then this air is further converting to the gas, because coal is combusting with the help of that hot air. And so that coal is converted now to gas. And now that hot gas plus some particles, solid particles, say coal particles, are entering to the cyclone separator. Right? Now the problem is, here we have to note that this pressure drop, if it is increasing, you have to supply the air with the high speed, because with the friction, the speed of the swirling, I mean the swirling speed of the air plus a solid particle will decrease because of this spins, because you are increasing the pressure drop. So you are supplying the you have to supply the air with little bit more velocity from the blower. And then if you are asking the more velocity from the blower, means you are required to supply more electricity to the blower, means it is consuming the more power. But okay, here the only point is coming, blower will be consuming while more energy while operating with the finned cyclone separator. But at other side, you will see down the time, you will see that you are separating the particles, refined particles, thereby you are helping to reduce the particulate matter emission, and you are making this cyclone separator as a heat exchanger, so that you are saving a lot of energy. So looking at achieving these two big points, third point is little consumption, electricity consumption at the blower side can be acceptable. Now moving to the tangential velocity. So this is a typical graph for the rectangular fin based cyclone separator, tangential velocity, and you can see the tangential velocity, you have to see which one is giving more in this particular design. Okay, I mean the tangential velocity is every time it is positive velocity, but you can clearly see in this case the tangential velocity is coming like for the, it is observed that for the fin size 10 mm with the pitch 50 mm, it gives the higher tangential velocity than other 5 selected fin cyclone separator. So this is what the one of the observation for the tangential velocity. Because of tangential velocity, what happens? The particles will be forcefully thrown near the wall, and it is very good if the particles remain very close to the wall. It is good sign, because normally I told you know that when the gas takes its reverse turn, it forms the central core through which only gas is flowing toward the gas outlet. So it is always good the particles should be close to the wall, so that they will get a friction with the wall. They have their already their own weight and some velocity. They will come down toward the solid outlet. So and then separation can happen in a best manner. So that it is expected the tangential velocity should be high. So always remember tangential velocity should be high. Axial velocity near the wall should be negative. And okay, axial pressure drop, it is good after applying the fins. Axial pressure drop should be minimum, so that we can save the sum power what we are required to give to the blower in order to maintain the same velocity or same velocity. I mean the you know the gas plus solid mixture enter the cyclone separator at 20 meters per second. So to maintain that velocity in fin cyclone separator, you are required to give the little bit more power, because once that gas plus solid mixture enter the cyclone separator, it will take several turns and it will make the friction with the wall, and its velocity will reduce. To maintain that velocity, certainly you have to give the more power to the blower. But point is, but axial pressure drop is definitely not impacting on your separation efficiency performance or on heat transfer characteristics. Only it is consuming, telling about the power consumption. But factor like axial velocity, tangential velocity are very important. So remember, axial velocity near the wall should be high. Tangential velocity should be high in order to separate the more particles. And that is what happening here for the 10 mm fin size and 50 mm pitch. Okay, in this particular thing, tangential velocity is high there. Okay, and what was the conclusion for the axial velocity? Axial velocity here, it was observed that the here you can see in this case also, like 50 mm and 10 mm, 50 mm fin and 10 mm pitch. You can see this is a square with dot having the larger velocity near the wall. Okay, but at this case their velocity is little lower, but black size, I mean the 10 mm fin with 30 mm pitch is having more velocity. So anyway, the sum side on the left hand side, 10 mm fin and 50 mm pitch are having more velocity, while on the right hand side 10 mm fin with 30 mm pitch is having more axial velocity. Means here actually the more number of particles are available here only. Okay, so it is therefore I am telling you we have to see near the wall where is the more negative velocity. More negative velocity means particles are more over here and they are moving in the downward direction with that speed. And with if they are moving in the downward direction with high speed is a good sign. So this is what the axial velocity profile. So and this is then next one is a this is already we discussed. This is related with the power consumption. This is the factor impacting on the separation, that is a tangential velocity. And third factor now I will show you. Before that, let me explain you separation efficiency graph. Now you can see in this graph the 30 mm pitch. Only for the 30 mm pitch we are comparing the three sizes of the fin: 5 mm, 7.5 mm and 10 mm and non-fin cyclone separator. You can see the non-fin cyclone separator, the efficiency for the after 5 microns it becomes almost 100%. But for the very fine particles, say in the range of 0.5 microns to 2.5 microns, the collection efficiency of the non-fin cyclone separator is poor. But with the fins, this collection efficiency has improved. For example, let's take the example of 1.5 micron. You see the efficiency of that is around 62 or 61 percent. But with the application of the fin, especially fin with the size 10 mm, is giving us the the efficiency around 75%. So this is what the improvement is. Now, if we go to the 50 mm pitch size, for the same you can see it is coming around 78% for the same particle size. Okay, so from this, what can we conclude? Okay, so before going to conclude, let me show you a few other things. Like you can see, when there is a non-field cyclone separator, particles are not coming in, not separated much. How will you guess this? Because you can see here in the conical section, the particles are looking like dilute particles. They are more near the wall, but here you can see the particles are coming at the bottom, and they are in large number of particles are coming down there. You can see very small number of particles in this zone, because this central circle, small central circle is represent the solid outlet. Very few number of particles are there, but large number of particles are available in the field cyclone separator. So this is a one of, and I will show you the video for this. Okay, so in this case, let me start the video, and you can see we have injected the particles, and you can see the particles are following the path available between the two fins, and then they are systematically moving down there. Okay, so let me show it once again, and you can just a moment. Let it complete. Yeah, second turn. Yeah, you can see the particles are injecting. They are systematically taking the path, and then they are collected. So next one, another one simulation is here. So, yeah, the particles are injected, and you can see the particles remains very close to the wall in the initial case. I mean, when they are in the cylindrical portion, they are close to the cylinder, and when they are going to the conical, they are coming. I mean, this is the this is the solid outlet. So, like you can see when you do the simulation, I mean. You can see for the non-field cyclone separator, the number of particles here will be less, and for the field cyclone separator, number of particles will be high. That is what I have presented in the my previous slide, like something over here. So now next part I would like to show you. This is what the reverse flow, from where the flow takes its reverse. Now you can see the set number one non-field cyclone separator, that takes the reverse flow. Reverse flow means at what distance above the solid outlet the flow takes its reverse. So for non-field cyclone separator, it is around 500 mm. And for the set 6, that is for the 10 mm fin with 50 mm pitch, is taking at the 375 mm. So if the flow is taking reverse flow at its some distance away from the solid outlet, it is not a good sign. I mean, the most of the particles then it will capture and it will go away. But here you can see at the set 6, the number of means reverse flow is taking place 375 mm distance above the solid outlet. Okay, where what happens, that particles are already came close, because in conical section you are continuously decreasing your size, and particles came already very close. They are more denser, and very short distance they have to move down to reach to the solid outlet. So observation is that whenever you are having the reverse turn, or from where the gas is taking reverse turn going toward the gas outlet through the center core, if it is some distance away, I mean, the like here it is around 500 mm away or 450 mm away from the solid outlet, but here the distance is less. So whenever the distance is high, your efficiency is low. So therefore in all the cases you see tangential velocity, axial velocity, and reverse flow, the distance at the reverse flow means distance above the solid outlet where the reverse flow takes place for the non-field cyclone separator is high, while axial velocity and tangential velocity is low for the non-field cyclone separator in comparison with the field cyclone separator. Therefore, the collection efficiency is poor for the non-field cyclone separator. But overall, what is the conclusion out of all these rectangular fins? The conclusion is something very important. Present study observed that significant changes in the fluid dynamic characteristics of the field cyclone separator. The axial velocity in the downward direction in the dense particle regions near the wall was observed to be lesser in a field cyclone separator than that of the non-field cyclone separator. However, it is compensated by the collecting the more particles in the gap pitch. Gap means the pitch between the turn of helical fin. Additionally, tangential velocity was improved with the field cyclone separator with the help of which help to push the particles toward the wall, which further move in the downward direction toward the solid outlet, helps to improve the separation efficiency. Also, axial pressure drop in the cylindrical portion of the cyclone separator with the fins is in the order of 0.287 to 3.348 kilopascal, was observed to be more than the conventional cyclone separator, which is hardly 0.183, which represents the energy loss. However, the compensated by the improvement in the separation efficiency in the 5% to 10%, that is for the very fine particles. You can see very fine particles. I have already shown you the separation efficiency graph. Like you can see the very fine particles like 0.1 micron, 0.5 micron, 1 micron, 2 micron, 3 micron, we have improved their efficiency. That is in the order of 5 to 10%. It is really good achievement over here. Then next point. Okay, so the height of the reverse flow, for that I have already explained you. So let's move to the straightforward to the final conclusion. The finned cyclone separator help to reduce the environmental pollution by capturing very fine particles below 2.5 micron, causing the serious, otherwise they will cause the serious health issue. You know, the many people are saying that that is the they are having the problem of the lungs because you know that polluted air is causing the lungs. Ultimately, you can say it is a black lungs. I mean, taking the emission gases are there and particulate matters are there, it is causing the breathing problem. So if you are eliminating, sending the very fine particle outside, it is really helping us. So that way the finned cyclone separators are helping us. And at what extent? 5 to 10% improvement over the collection efficiency for the very fine particles like 3 microns is observed in comparison with the non-finned cyclone separator. Pertaining to this finding, it is recommended to consider the cyclone separator with 50 mm pitch and fin size of 10 mm in order to achieve the highest efficiency if we are discussing about the rectangular fin based cyclone separator. So next slides now in a similar way, next slides are in the similar way. We are now can discuss for the semicircular. So I have taken only rectangular in detailed manner. Semicircular physics is same, but results are coming different. So directly, instead of discussing all these results, let me just show you. These are the axial velocity profile for semicircular. Then this is the axial pressure drop for the semicircular. Then this is a tangential velocity for the semicircular. And then separation efficiency for 30 mm pitch for the semicircular. And then separation efficiency for 50 mm for the semicircular fin. And this is what the reverse flow for the semicircular fin. So, and this is particularly the typically you can see the more number of particles at the solid outlet for the this type of the semicircular fin cyclone separator. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is something here is which is very important, because that conclusion is very important for us. Separation efficiency of the semicircular finned cyclone separator of the fin size 7.5 mm with pitch size 50 mm was observed to be highest among the selected other 5 sets of semicircular finned cyclone separator for the with semicircular cross section, and which is giving around 11% more efficiency than conventional cyclone separator. So result here it is different. For the rectangular, there was what was a rectangular, what was a conclusion for the rectangular? It was not 50 mm. I think it was, let's go back. I'm taking you back there and let's see what was the size what we have recommended here. Here it is 50 mm and 10 mm. Particularly, it is recommended to consider cyclone separator with 50 mm size and 10 mm in pitch is giving highest efficiency for rectangular. But for if you go to the next slide and conclusion for the semicircular, what is the conclusion coming out? 50 mm with 7.5. So just remember 10 mm with 50 mm pitch size for the rectangular. For the semicircular it is 7.5 and 50. So in the now if we move further for the triangular fins, again the axial velocity profile will come, axial pressure drop will come, tangential velocity profile will come, separation efficiency, and again separation efficiency for 50 mm. Previous slide was for 30 mm. And then if we move further, then reverse flow locations, and then this kind of the presentation where you can see the number of particles at the solid outlet are more in finned cyclone separator. which clearly indicates that we are collecting more particles down there. And then what is the final conclusion? The final conclusion is here: the separation efficiency of the fin cyclone separator with a triangular in cross section, 7.5 mm fin size and 30 mm pitch is giving best result. So now what is the conclusion from this fluid dynamic study? From this fluid dynamic study, we are concluding that the rectangular, triangular and semicircular. Initially we have discussed rectangular. The 10 mm fin size with 50 mm pitch is giving better results. In case of semicircular, 7.5 mm pin size with 50 mm pitch is giving better results. For triangular, 7.5 mm pin size with 30 mm pitch is giving best results. So different fins are giving different results because of their geometries, because of their shapes. And the physics behind this is what is your axial velocity, what is your tangential velocity, from where the reverse flow is taking place. That's what we have justified. We have given the reasons, we have given the physical interpretation why this is all happening. So from this, what then we have to do? Then we have went ahead, because finally, okay, one aim is achieved. What is that? We have achieved, we have proved that by adding this fins, we are actually improving the performance of the cyclone separator in terms of their collection efficiency. And you know, the danger particles, those are below 10 microns or 5 microns, we are capturing them. I mean, conventional non-fin cyclone separator was not able that much, but we have improved their efficiencies at around 10% of conventional cyclone separator efficiency. We have improved by 10% to capture the very fine particle. Those are in the size 2.5 microns to 5 microns. So this is what the achievement. Now we can definitely go ahead for the heat transfer study, because now we have to send the water through the fins, and we have to save the heat loss. I mean, through the convection and radiation, which is normally happens with the non-conventional cyclone separator. But now the question will come in our mind: which fin you will opt? Whether it will be circular, semicircular, rectangular, or triangular. For that, we have studied something here, that is what mentioned. Now we will read, because this slide is very important. Okay. Hydrodynamic study on finned rectangular, semicircular and triangular cyclone separator and conventional cyclone separator was carried out in order to find optimum fin geometry, optimum fin size and optimum fin pitch. Total, there were 18 finned cyclone separator, which varies in a fin geometry like rectangular, semicircular and triangular, with the fin sizes 5 mm, 7.5 mm, 10 mm, fin pitches 30 mm and 50 mm. Out of 6 sets of rectangular finned cyclone separator, rectangular finned cyclone separator with the fin size 10 mm and pitch size 50 mm was optimistic. Similarly, out of 6 sets of semicircular finned cyclone separator, semicircular finned cyclone separator with the fin size 7.5 mm and pitch size 50 mm was found to be optimistic. Out of 6 sets of triangular finned cyclone separator, triangular finned cyclone separator with fin size 7.5 mm and pitch size 30 mm was found optimistic based on fluid dynamic study, which influences the performance of the cyclone separator. Now further, among these 3 optimistic finned cyclone separator, the cyclone separator with the triangular geometry like 7.5 mm and 30 mm pitch size was found to be optimistic in terms of performance. Why I said like this? Let's move the next point. But overall, considering the 3 optimistic fin, the 3 different geometries, rectangular, semicircular and triangular, 2 optimistic cases have the same fin size like 7.5 and other 2 cases have 50 mm. Like I will take you back. Like you can see in the rectangular, if you compare the rectangular versus semicircular, they are having the different, they are having the same pitch sizes like 50-50. If we compare the semicircular and triangular, they have the same fin size like 7.5 and here also 7.5, but they have different pitch. And rectangular and semicircular, they are having the same pitch but different fin size. This is what is mentioned here in this particular point. So among the 3 fin sizes produced 5 mm, 7.5 mm and 10 mm, what we are now trying to do, instead of this 7.5 mm was found optimistic fin size in 2 geometries and out of 3 geometries proposed. since the overall percentage of the finned cyclone separator was higher for the 7.5 fin size. Hence 7 fin size was chosen as optimistic fin size. Means out of these results, if you go and really go and check whether you will check the whether you will take the 10 and 50 or means first of all think on the fin size. So what we observed, the fin size when there was 7.5 the separation efficiency improvement for these very fine particles was in the range of 10% or 11% improvement. While for the 10%, it was only about 7 to means in the range of 5 to 10%. But here it is in the range of 10 to 11%. So we have choose the fin size of 7.5. Now the question will come. Next question is whether you will opt the 30 or 50 means which pitch you will take. Then what we have done next, you can see instead of taking 50 or 30, we have taken 40 as the average pitch size, and we have taken instead of taken 7.5 we have taken around that, means round of number 7 fin size we have chosen for the heat transfer study. But before heat transfer, what then we have done, we have again compared the rectangular, semicircular and triangular for the 40 pitch with 7 size. We have studied their fluid dynamic characteristics, and then we went ahead with the with heat transfer studies. So let me show you what we have done. Here you can see the 7 size fin size we have taken, and the pitch we have taken 40 for this is for the triangular, semicircular again 40 pitch and 7 the size, again the 7 size and 40 the pitch, or this is for the rectangular. And again we have done the same thing, meshing, and meshing will be something like this. This is for the triangular, this is for the semicircular, this is for the rectangular, and then this is all about the boundary conditions. And we have again done this meshing comparisons with the experimental data, and then we went ahead and did the mesh independent study for the triangular mesh, for the semicircular mesh, and after all that we then started comparing their axial velocity profile. And you can see this is for the triangular axial velocity profile we have plotted at the 300 above the solid outlet, 500 above the solid outlet, and 700 above the solid outlet. So this is axial velocity profile for 7 size and 40 pitch. Same way we have done for this is the trend for the semicircular, and this is the trend for the rectangular. We have only for our interest we have taken the we have measured the axial velocities at 300, 500 and 700 above the solid outlet along the height of the cyclone separator. But important is this graph, because here we are comparing the triangular, semicircular and rectangular fin once again, and we observe that you can see the clear-cut observation that here most of the cyclones, the axial velocities for the three fins are almost coming, most of the cases it is almost coming close. However, you can see the triangular, triangular means this circle, okay, they are giving more negative velocity near the wall in comparison with the, if you compare the three axial velocity profiles for the three fins on the same operating conditions or the same geometrical condition. The triangular fin gives a negative velocity near the wall high as compared to the other, so that is a good sign. And if we compare in the like axial pressure drop, again we have plotted. Now this is a tangential velocity profile, okay, this is for the triangular fin, then this is for the semicircular fin in this slide. The next slide means in this slide it is for the rectangular fin. So this slide is important. Here we are comparing the tangential velocity profile for the triangular, semicircular and rectangular at 500 distance. And you can notice that overall the circle, the triangular fin is having more tangential velocity. So tangential velocity and axial velocity is more in case of triangular fin. Means negative velocity means velocity near the wall. When the particles are moving with the high speed near the wall in the downward direction is more for the triangular fin, as well as tangential velocity is more in a case of triangular fin. So in the triangular fin, the particles will be more pushed toward the wall. That is the case, and therefore we are happy with the triangular fin. But then also we thought that okay, let's compare the triangular fin, semicircular fin, and rectangular fin with non-fin, and just compare the things. And you can clearly see over here, it is very interesting thing what we have observed. Like in the range of around 2.5 micron, here you can see this regime where the triangular fin is giving better efficiency improvement over the semicircular, rectangular, or non-fin. Non-fin is actually at the bottom, right? So big improvement we can see. So for the 7 pitch and 40 pitch and 7 size, we have done the fluid dynamic study, and here you can separation efficiency, you can immediately see this separation. It is sometimes called as separation efficiency, sometimes it is called as a collection efficiency, and you can clearly observe the triangular fins are giving better separation efficiency. And if this is the case, right, if this is the case, if you are getting the better separation efficiency for the triangular fin, we have to definitely go ahead with the triangular fin. So this is what the you can now notice in the concluding remark, that let me take you before that, like axial pressure drop that we have anyway, you know that it is more in a finned cyclone separator, okay, but the tangential velocity for the fin based cyclone separator was more than for the any conventional cyclone separator. That is also we have observed. So now next point, large number of very fine particles below 3.2 microns were separated in case of fin based cyclone separator in comparison with the non-conventional cyclone separator. This is also what we have observed. But important point is last two. For the particles below 3.2 microns, collection efficiency for the triangular fin based cyclone separator was observed to be more than that of the observed in the other selected fin based cyclone separator. Anyway, it is more than non-fin, but also more than semicircular and rectangular fin based cyclone separator. Therefore, in upcoming section, triangular fin based cyclone separator is selected for the heat transfer study as utilizing it as a heat exchanger. So if anybody means, we have not randomly decided to go with the triangular fins. There is a basically we have seen where we are getting the more separation efficiency, and then in this case now the heat transfer study starts. I know there are 15 minutes more, so I will try to finish because there are 100 slides. We are on the 85th slide, and this is the last portion of the presentation. So in this case, you can see this is a triangular fin we have used, and we are sending the water at 30 degrees Celsius, and here the water coming out as a red because it is getting hot. So then you know what we have done the simulation that I will be now presenting. This is the how the meshing have done and all that. So and this is all about the meshing and boundary conditions. So we will not go on that side, but how we have studied that I will explain you. So instead of this slide, let me explain you. This is mesh independence state. Now I have already explained you how to do the mesh independence. So let's come on this slide. Result and discussion, energy conservation through the temperature gain. So we have basically chosen the 40 pitch and the 7 fin size triangular fin, and you know at the inlet we have given the velocity, we have sent the water at 0.5 kg per second, in second case 1 kg per second, third case 1.5 kg per second, fourth fifth 2.5, and the last one 3 kg per second. And we observed that with decreasing mass flow rate, your temperature gain is normally increasing, because at what time water is available, it means if with slow flow rate, I mean the water will remain maximum time in contact with it will remain in contact with the hot gas, so that the temperature gain was observed more. Like you can see the initial temperature was around 30 in every case, but with the smaller mass flow rate like this blue line with 0.5 kg per second, at the outlet we are getting 3 degrees Celsius gain. So just imagine, this is what we are getting over the distance of just 800 okay, 800 means over the distance of 800 if we are getting this much achievement is really very good achievement. 3 degrees Celsius we are getting a gain of the temperature. So then what we have done, this is a particularly first turn the water is entering, in the second turn, third turn, fourth turn, the temperature at the ninth turn means there are several turns, no? the 9 ton the temperature is more, something like this slide. So now what we have done, we have done the scale up study. In the earlier study, you know, over the 400 mm size, 3 degrees Celsius gain we have achieved. Means water was entering, suppose here, and coming out here as a hot water with 3 degrees Celsius increment. Now what we have done, we have increased scale up study, means we have doubled the size of the cyclone separator and keeping the same fins, means triangular fin with 7 mm size and 40 mm pitch. And you see this 400 mm, we have literally doubled it to the 800, and then we have compared the result. Instead of showing this now contours, let's see this. Let's see first of all this, and then I will go back to this slide. Okay. You can see this is a ton. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This indicates the number of tons. Okay. So for the 400 mm cylindrical portion height, means for that particular cyclone separator, there are totally 19 tons are coming. I have shown you, no, like you can see over here. I am taking you back, like 9 tons means 9 into 2, because this is 9 ton, means basically it is first ton, second ton, third ton. So this is first, then this will be second, then this will be third. If 9 are here there will be also 9. So like that way there are 19, because 1 is over here. I am counting, this is 1 point. Tons are 19, but you know, between these 2 tons, here this point is considered the additional point. I mean that if there are 9 plus 1, 10, then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So these 19 points we are measuring the temperature, and that is what is presented for this blue line. Okay. And when we have scaled up, when we have enlarged the side from 400 to 800 mm, we are actually getting the total number of tons 39. But temperature improvement, you see the temperature here, this 0.5, this vertical scale indicates the temperature improvement. Initial temperature for the small scale cyclone separator was 30, and at the end it has become this 19 ton. It has become something like this. So this is a line close to the 30. You can see this is a circle of 30. This is a circle of 30 degrees Celsius temperature. So here around we are around 33. So basically, you know, the 3 degrees Celsius, or the fourth circle, if you see, it is around 35. This is a circle, you can see the 35 wala circle. This is this. So we are close to 35. So 3 or 4 degrees Celsius gain we have got at the exit. Okay, but for the red color, you see, we started with 30 degrees Celsius, and when we reach to the last ton where the water is coming out, we reach to the 45 degrees Celsius almost. So 15 degrees Celsius gain is just 800 mm height. So if this height, if you just imagine the industrial boiler are in the range of 10 meter, okay, 10 meter height. So 5 meter, if when the cyclone separator cylindrical portion will become 5 meter in height, here we are say 800 mm, means closely we are close to the 1 meter. So if we 5 times we will increase the height, the gain will be definitely more. I mean, here we are getting the 15 degrees Celsius gain for say 800 mm, or say for 1000 mm height of the cylindrical portion. If it will become 5 meter or 5000 mm, then this gain will not be 15 degrees Celsius, it will be more than that, because with increasing height the gain is increasing. Because when you see, when the height was 400 mm, the gain was 3 degrees Celsius, but when height is doubled, the gain has not doubled, rather it has increased by 5 times more. Here it is 3 times gain, here it is 15 degrees Celsius gain, means gain has increased from 3 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius, means 5 times gain has increased with doubling the size. So if we increase the size by 5 times or 6 times, then you can imagine that gain will increase like drastically. So that study is going on experimentally as well as numerically. And then what we have seen, okay, we are doing all these things scale up study, but what is happening with the separation efficiency? Because we should ensure us that separation efficiency is not deteriorating. I mean, the separation efficiency is not getting down. So scale up non-feed means if we take the cyclone separator, non-feed cyclone separator of this much size of 800 mm cylindrical portion height, and if we compare its comparison with the scale up with the triangular fin with 800 mm height of the cylindrical portion, you can see still the scale up triangular fin cyclone separator is giving better efficiency for very fine particle, more efficiency for the fine particles. So still with scale up study, our separation efficiency is either more or close to this conventional cyclone separator. It is not getting down, it is not decreasing. So still we are not deteriorating, we are not impacting badly, I mean, on our function of the cyclone separator, rather it is improving. So we can definitely go ahead with the putting such fins and conserve the some heat or energy, and which can, you can see the 15%, I mean 15 degrees Celsius, not 15%, 15 degrees Celsius water temperature has increased. So that is the gain. So this is what about the overall the conclusion is coming out something here, that what I told you orally, that we have to definitely consider the finned cyclone separator, basically triangular finned cyclone separator with 4 mm pitch and 7 mm pitch, 7 mm size and 40 mm pitch. We must we should apply in the industry scale boilers, and with increasing the size of the cyclone separator, means height of the cyclone separator, our gain, water gain will definitely increase. And every time we observe that the separation efficiency either improving for the very fine particles below 5 microns. So it is definitely we should go ahead and can apply such kind of the cyclone separator, means fins technology, to the conventional cyclone separators to save the energy, to improve the particle separation, especially those particles are below 5 microns. Now this is what we are doing, and also we are doing other some changes of the cyclone separator along with the fins to improve the separation efficiency further, because anyway you will be getting you will be saving anyway energy or heat with the help of water, but we have to always careful the separation efficiency should not, we should not lose, because we observe that that the separation efficiency are closer, means scale up non-finned and scale up triangular with 800 mm cylindrical height. Both the cases are coming very closer. Rather, I was expecting this gap should be high. To increase this gap, I mean, to improve means you have to improve the separation efficiency further. You have to make the other few changes in the cyclone separator, like vortex finder and the tangential inlet geometries. Many things we are working, so that after scale up also they will not become closer. Either the separation efficiency will always remain improved, and we can tell that separation efficiency anyway is improving, but other side, because of fins, water is getting the heat, and therefore we can save the heat loss. So this is what the things going on in BITS Pilani, and we are working experimentally as well as numerically. Thank you. So I think it is 4 minutes left. I think it's time for question answer. If anybody has, you can ask me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the great insight in 2D cyclone separator with the performance of different fin-based cyclone separator like rectangular, triangular, and semicircular fin-based with different profile even related to size of pitch and fin, as well as that heat transfer study on particular base fin, which is triangular fin-based cyclone separator. So once again, thank you so much, sir, on behalf of A.D. Patel Institute of Technology.
Thank you, Professor.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So I think that then the session is over. Can I?
Yes, sir. If anybody has a question, then they can forward me. I will forward to you, sir.
Yeah, sure. So I will reply them.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
I will stop now the presenting the message.
Yes, sure, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.